You did everything right, and that might be exactly why nothing is working. You worked harder than most people ever will. You stayed disciplined, avoided mistakes, followed every rule you were told would lead to success. So why does it feel like you're moving, but never actually getting anywhere? Something about this is broken. There's a moment when something starts to feel off. Not dramatic, not obvious. Just a quiet realization. That effort doesn't seem to translate into progress anymore, and most people ignore it. Because if hard work was the answer, you wouldn't feel this stuck. And yet, here you are. Stop. This is where most people look away. Because what comes next is uncomfortable. The system was never designed to reward effort, it rewards position. And position is invisible to most people. You were trained to follow instructions, to stay busy, to trade time for money, to believe that more effort equals more reward. But the system doesn't reward effort, it rewards leverage. Imagine someone working 10 hours a day, exhausted, consistent, doing everything right. 5 years later, nothing really changed. Now imagine someone else who builds something once, a system, a process, an asset, and that system keeps working. Even when they stop, effort pays you once, leverage keeps paying you forever. And this is where things start to break. Because now you realize you were never lacking effort. You were lacking the right structure. If this is starting to shift something in your mind, take a second to like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Comment what just clicked for you and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Money doesn't respond to effort. It responds to value. And value comes from solving problems at scale. This is why some people make more in one day than others make in a month. Not because they work harder, but because they operate differently. You're not paid for how hard you work. You're paid for how much impact your work creates. But here's the part almost no one is ready to accept. You're not stuck because you're not working hard enough. You're stuck because you're playing a game that was never designed for you to win. And once you see that, everything becomes uncomfortable, because now you see the pattern everywhere. People working harder but going nowhere. People burning energy without building anything that lasts. They wake up early. They stay late. They sacrifice time, energy, relationships, and still feel like they're running in place. Not because they're lazy, not because they lack discipline, but because the system they're inside has limits, and those limits are invisible. Time is limited, energy is limited, attention is limited. And if your entire life is built around trading those things, there is always a ceiling you cannot break. And the hardest part is, the system feels fair. You give effort, you expect reward, but the system doesn't scale effort, it scales leverage. And once you understand that, everything starts to shift. Because now you realize, wealth is not built by working more. It's built by building something that works without you. A system, an asset, something that continues. Even when you stop, that's the difference. One person works and gets paid once. Another builds and gets paid repeatedly. One depends on time, the other controls it. And that changes everything. Because now the question is no longer, how hard are you working? The real question becomes, what are you building? Because if all your income depends on your time, you don't have freedom. You have a dependency. And the more you work, the more dependent you become. That's the trap. And most people never see it. They just keep pushing harder, trying more, sacrificing more, hoping something will change. But nothing changes because the system never changed. And this is where everything connects. You were never taught how money really works. You were taught how to survive inside the system, not how to escape it, not how to win. And once you see that, you can't go back, because now you notice things you didn't notice before. You see people trading time. You see people stuck in cycles. You see people confusing effort with progress. And the most uncomfortable part, you start seeing it in yourself. And that's where the real shift happens. Because now you have a choice. Keep doing what feels right, or start doing what actually works. If this changed the way you see things, take a second to like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Comment what just clicked for you, and subscribe, because this is where things start to change. Because once you see the hidden rules, you can't unsee them. And once you understand the game, you can't keep playing it the same way. So now the question becomes unavoidable. Are you going to keep working harder, or finally start building something that works for you?